Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Friday the 14th of June. Starting off with the S&P, which still has basically a 10 out of 10 in terms of the performance of late. Two unfull gaps to the upside so far this month, and almost doesn't really matter if there is a retracement any day now because we've had such a good run. But for the channel there towards 51.70 and above that looking for 55.40 and that September resistance line projection from last year. Time frame on that hopefully by the end of next month, ideally by the end of this month. If we do break down, then initial support expected to be between 52.64, the old spring peak, and the recent resistance around 5300, so that kind of band. Moving on to the Nasdaq, and here the picture has been as good, if not better, than the S&P. That rising trend channel from September last year, heading to 20,000 now, which we're looking for hopefully by the end of next month and ideally by the end of this month. A support likely to come in 19,200 at the floor of the latest gap. Worst case is that we've got to go down to the 19,000 area, which was old resistance and recent support. Moving on to the stocks, and starting off with a decent new situation, rising trend channel here at Auth ID and rising 50-day line as well. We're looking for more progress above that recent resistance there at $9.20, while we're above that on an end-of-day close basis. Looking at the top of the channel there as high as $14 by the end of next month. On to BitDeer, which has had a slightly had a decent move in the recent past with this rally through the old resistance area, initial January-February resistance area near $9.70. Above that, we're looking for the top of the rising trend channel from back in September last year as high as $16 by the end of next month. Stock which is perhaps not in such a happy place is coming up next, Barnes & Noble, and here just the chance of a rebound against that line of support there from back in April. You can see there's been the odd touch point, and the third major touch point time is coming now, but obviously the overall backdrop here is of a stock which whenever it rallies, somebody comes in and smashes it down really, really hard. Best case scenario at this point would be that we would head back to the old May support there around the $15 area, but even that looks as though that may be factoring in too much of a rebound for the shares. Another stock which has not been having a happy time is Biomia, and here you can see we've got the possibility, in fact the reality, of the shares bouncing off the floor of that falling December trend channel above the recent resistance around $4.80, looking for perhaps a bit more traction to the upside. Probably the favored destination ideally is the old support there from back in November at $8.20 as a best case scenario by the end of next month. Moving on to Flux Power, and here falling trend channel but a nice bounce off the floor of it, and looking for basically an end of the day close above the 50-day moving average and the old May gap floor there at $3.90 ahead of a move up to the top of the channel, $4.80. Time frame on that hopefully by the end of this month. One of the stars of the show in the recent past has been iPower, and here you can see why. Been quite loyal to this stock being able to find support at a previous target there around $2.40 and then head up to the top of the range and at the final resistance line projection there $3.55, which we're hoping for well before the end of this month. You can see that final target, basically the upper parallel of a January resistance line projection. The last few are coming up now, and the first one is Longeveron, and here falling trend channel, possibility of a lasting rebound. Obviously we've had the initial dead cat bounce here, but the level to break really the top of that channel there around $3.90. Above that then we're looking for the old resistance on the way down, that March resistance area at $5.80 by the end of next month. In the meantime, we don't really want to see this stock back below the floor of the latest gap around $1.80, and ideally we stay on the right side of $2. Eurogen is next, and here a nice pattern with that triangle and a spiky situation, but nevertheless above the old resistance there from April, $15.40, looking for $22 plus by the end of this month, or hopefully much sooner than that, given the way we're going. Finishing off with Zapp, which has had a decent outcome after a rather long time in the wilderness. Here you can see that we have the shares, or we had the shares, in a falling trend channel type of pattern, and here, finessing that a little bit, you can see that we've actually just bounced off the floor of that falling channel, and the target here up to $3.30 at that November resistance line projection. Obviously, those in the stock will be hoping for more, but the proviso is that we managed to break back above the 50-day moving average, just around the $2.45 level plus, in order to then get up to that $3.30 area. But decent close yesterday, right on the line basically, but I'd like to see another close above it, and hopefully get that today to take us up to $3.30. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.